Lunchtime, kids! All right!
Yum, 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 yum.
Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
And a happy Monday afternoon to all of you out there on Facebook. This is The Lunch Break, brought to you by Real News Communications Network. I'm your host for today, Matt Stoker. I'm joined in studio by Josh Hart.
Hello, sir.
And in the other room by Zach Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
How you gentlemen doing today?
We're doing
great.
You ready? You ready to rock this one out?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
You ready to do some live on-the-air radio / podcasting?
Of course.
We're also joined in studio today by Kenton, who runs Executive Connection and is also over at Dialexa. Kenton, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me this afternoon.
So we're very happy to have you in because there's actually some, well, I wouldn't call it breaking news, but could potentially be breaking news when it comes to Barnes & Noble. Things are not looking so hot in the bookseller space. You've already lost a number of them, and now Barnes & Noble looks like it might be going down as well. Zach, I know you used to work there, and I think you probably still have friends over there.
Yeah, I did a stint between the stacks. Yeah, Barnes & Noble is...
That's the only way to make working at Barnes & Noble sound cool. I did a stint in the stacks over there.
Hey, I'm not the only one. There's a couple people that work here that have worked at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, Barnes & Noble's been struggling. I remember when I worked there, a lot of people, and this was just a couple years ago, a lot of people would ask, how they doing? Are you guys going under? Where are you? They have a lot of full-time employees there. People have been there for 20 or 30 years. And this year, just after the holiday season, they did very poor. They laid off a bunch of people. And Barnes & Noble is in hot water. And a lot of people claim, as does Barnes & Noble, that it's because of Amazon. Amazon can ship books in warehouses, and it's cheaper than having brick-and-mortar stores. And I can get behind that. But I think they've also had some issues with being a modern company and getting with the times. And I read an article over the weekend that said, apparently some of the higher-ups, the top-shelf businessmen in Barnes & Noble, are kind of hoping for a buyout. They're hoping they can just get this problem kind of swept out from under them, and they can hit the links. And I thought it might be worth talking about, being that we have a business executive on with us. So, yeah, that's the setup.
Yeah, Kenton, do you think it's fair anymore for a company? I mean, Amazon has been around for a long time now. Do you think it's fair in 2018 for a company to say, well, it's Amazon's fault that we're failing? Like, or have you just not caught up?
Yeah, I think just to elaborate a little bit, they're kind of falling into that blockbuster zone, right? So they were late to technology. And so by the time they're electing now to try to catch up and bring books online, it's too late.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to decline even more and more. They'll get acquired by somebody. But interesting enough, if you flip the coin, Amazon had massive layoffs last week.
Yeah.
And so I think just the pressures of Q1 right now, probably bad sales over the holidays, is kind of making these guys realign their pricing structures.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess if you want to look at the bigger picture, probably the economy not doing as well as maybe as it was in the last few years. So sales could be down across the board. I can't remember I take that back. I can't remember the last time I was in a Barnes & Noble, but I didn't buy anything when I was there. And I usually, what I end up doing is I'll browse through. I still like physical books. I'm one of those people. I do have a Nook, which is a Barnes & Noble product, but effectively a Kindle. But I still like the feeling of having books with me. So I like to go and look, but usually what I'll end up doing is I'll find something that I'm interested in, and then I'll go to Half Price Books, and I'll get it there. That's what I'm doing. So I'm part of the problem, I guess is what I should say. But yeah, it does feel like the things that they're doing are not, they're trying to get you in store, but they're not really doing a whole lot of outreach or like reaching you at home.
Yeah, I think they're primed for disruption. They should change the way they're doing business, in my opinion, or add a different element to it, which I'll give you an example. As a consumer, I would walk into their store. Maybe I have a monthly subscription plan with them where I'm allowed to buy X amount of books.
Sure.
And it's checked out automatically. I'll just walk through and get what I want, and I leave the store.
Yeah.
So just doing something different, I think, is what they need to do.
Yeah, Josh, you were mentioning that they're opening up cafes now.
Yeah, the one at the Shops at Legacy West, they have a Barnes & Noble cafe, which is sandwiches, soup, salads, like the simple kind of stuff with a coffee, all that kind of. But they have just the cream of the crop of their bestseller variety there. So they say it's a choice selection of books that they have. So it's like half the store is books, half the store is a cafe.
Oh, so this is like a whole new concept because I'm thinking of I want to say the one on Northwest Highway over
No.
in North Park.
No.
They've redone their sort of Starbucks village and they've turned it into, I think they offer a few more choices, but this is more like, this is a whole new thing.
Yeah, this is essentially a restaurant. It's a full sit down. You order your food. You can sit down, eat, drink, have coffee. I kind of see it as like the lunchtime, like you go there for lunch.
Yeah.
And then, hey, while you're here, here's a best-selling book. So I think they're trying something new. I think they missed the mark a little bit. You look at what Amazon can do, which is sell at a lower price, which is tough to beat. But Audible, the apps, getting on the technical side of things, I know with Nook is a good way to go. But instead of trying to be exclusive, have it to where anybody can go to Barnes & Noble, and that's the place to go for books.
Yeah.
They've kind of gotten away from that and trying to make it more exclusive. I think that to me is what I have pulled away from. Because before, all Christmas gifts from me and my wife were all books. So that's why only reason why we had the Barnes & Noble membership is because every Christmas at like December 1st we would go, because they also had the free gift wrapping section as well. So it was great. Go and we'd just buy books.
People love that free gift wrap.
Yeah,
That's a real thing, yeah.
Usually in the clearance section, but still we'd go and buy books, and that was our gifts to everyone. We were the book buying family.
I appreciate them trying to go for like the food angle. I mean, they've been upping their cafe game for a while.
When I think fine dining, I think Barnes & Noble.
Sure, and they also they sell a
First two
lot
names
of
that
they make a lot of revenue off of toys and games. Like what they were pushing when I was there was insane, like board games and kind of things for kids. But my question for Barnes & Noble is like, where's your YouTube channel? Where's your podcast? Like, you guys have incredible opportunities to collaborate with authors who come to you and do book signings and come to Barnes & Noble for exclusive events. Like, why don't you have an interview series?
Yeah.
Why aren't you, like, getting to know these people? Why aren't you helping bridge that gap between consumer and creator? I don't know. What are they doing?
Kenton, an interesting thing that I've thought of here is, like we said earlier, Amazon feels like the 800-pound gorilla here. Or they're almost a force of nature now. Do you think Amazon, I mean, just looking at it from, I guess, the outside, do you think Amazon is innovating enough, or do you think they are running into will in the future perhaps run against some of these hurdles where someone comes along and eats their lunch?
They are definitely innovating at a very rapid pace. I'll give you why I say that. So if you look at the healthcare space now, with them collaborating with Berkshire Hathaway and another company, I can't remember who it was, but they're putting together healthcare plans. It's going to cause a huge pinch on these big insurance companies out there, and they're going to start going out there and probably offering health care at pennies on the dime or pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Which is what it should be happening anyway. So they're forcing industries and verticals to look at disrupting or changing their business model. So as long as they keep leading ahead of everybody, I think they'll be in great shape. What they need to be worried about is the government eventually coming back to them and saying, hey, pull back the reins a little bit.
Right.
You guys are starting to monopolize every single industry out there.
But it's not what they're doing. It's not proprietary. I mean, that's like, see that because you saw that change in Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart has gone, hey, we're losing a lot, and they've made adaptations. I've even seen it now in Market Street. You can order groceries from Market Street app, pull in, text, and they bring your food out to you.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
They should have been doing that years ago.
Yeah.
But now they're as Amazon picked up Amazon Pantry and they're starting to see, hey, tech is the way to go. We can still have brick and mortar locations, maybe scale them back to where they're more of a warehouse with the essentials like popping in to buy stuff, but they're changing up the models.
Yeah. I think every company should view themselves as a technology company that just so happens to provide X services.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it's, I mean, I think you make a very good point where Amazon is very forward thinking. I think the problem that you might run into, which we may get around to talking about a little bit later about Facebook, where it feels like Facebook has sort of rested on their laurels a little bit. And now a lot of people are coming at the king, so to speak, when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
And the last election and everything, all the news that has come out about that has not helped them any. Where I think they're very maybe vulnerable right now. So Amazon, in a way, is constantly pushing things forward. So you make a very good point. Kenton, tell us a little bit before you go about Executive Connection.
Yeah. So it's an organization I founded about 10 years ago. It's very, very unique. There's 400 local executives that participate. So in order to even be part of the program, you have to be a sitting vice president level or above at a company that has a minimum annual revenues of $250 million. So we're talking at the enterprise level. We host roughly 40 events a year, and it could be anything from AT&T to Zales. It's a cross-functional forum. So you have executives representing different organizations, roughly 200 different organizations coming in to talk about enterprise issues, how they're dealing with them, kind of looking through different organizations' lenses, different job functions to see how they're reacting or responding back to some of these issues out in the marketplace. It's growing at a very massive pace. It's only in Dallas now. And so there's plans to expand, but I think keeping it nice and tight in here is the goal.
Sure.
So since I'm sure a lot of people of that caliber are watching the show right now, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to www.execsconnection.com.
Yeah.
You can't fill out an application because you have to be pre-approved, but at least gives you additional insights on it. Or you can find me out on LinkedIn.
So Google first how to make $250 million.
There you go.
Then you can be a part of this exclusive
Then
club.
you can be part of the group. That's right.
Kent and I appreciate you coming in. We'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit about the massive hit that is Black Panther, which is still growing. And also, I'm sure you all want to know what we did over the weekend, right? So we will talk about that coming up here on the lunch break on RNCN. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the lunch break on RNCN. Of course, you're watching us on Facebook right now. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, you can find our Facebook page. Just search Real News Communications Network on Facebook. Give us a like. Join us in the comment section if you'd like. We're here. We're available. We're open to you. Ask us whatever you want. Tell us about your weekend, which we are about to do. Let's talk a little bit about, on one of our first episodes, we talked about Black Panther. Zach and I had seen it. Josh, have you
I have not seen the Black Panther.
Yet? Okay.
No, I have a newborn, and I say newborn. He's almost 10 months old, so it's not really a newborn any longer. But I have a newborn son, and that's been my cop out for everything.
What is the movie going process when it comes to having a newborn son?
It would be more possible if my wife would trust anyone else but us to watch our child.
Blame the wife. Good move.
Yeah. So.
I find that always helps.
Yeah. No, it's just that it's our first child.
Sure. Yeah.
Newborn.
You're precious about it.
Yeah. We have everything is like fixed and done, and my brother has 4 girls. He goes after 2. You go, know what? We have a stockpile now. It's okay. We can break one. It'll be okay.
Can afford.
Yeah.
To ruin one of them.
Yeah. So.
So you guys are not a babysitter.
So
type?
I have Plex.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who finds films on Plex, and that's how I watch the new films.
Well, so you're not helping out the bottom line, but I understand that Black Panther has crossed the $700 million mark. And that's just U.S. and I guess Europe or a few other places as well.
It's $700 million in the first week, which is huge.
Sure.
And it hasn't hit China or Japan, which are kind of big markets.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to cross the $1 billion point. And they've already have it approved for a sequel. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
It's a bona fide hit.
Yeah.
I would say. Zach, I know you were sort of, I wouldn't say you disliked it, but you were down on it a little bit. Have you come around for the rest of the world?
Honestly, the further I get away from seeing it, the more I kind of think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it wasn't so bad. Like, it ages well, like a fine wine.
So I know you weren't going out to the movies this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you have anything exciting happen?
I mean, did I ever? So if you watched the Facebook Live on the RNCM page earlier, my wife and I went to Legacy Hall, which
I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's like the giant food court from Legacy Hall. It was me and her and the child went out there, and I grabbed a beer at one of the breweries they have there, and just kind of sat around and snacked on some things. The only criticism I have of that place is the same thing I have about food trucks. Is they don't offer like bite size. Everything's like full meal.
Right. So you have to sort of pick the place that you're going to eat, and you don't get to have a sampling of a bunch of different places.
I would like to snack on different things. Like, I'm going to try this. And no, you go, you pick, and it's $12 and you're committed.
Is it easy to suspend your disbelief and like forget that you're in a food court?
No. Only because
they don't dress it up. They must dress it up a little bit.
It's nicer than like the mall. But like it's just one of those. It's just back to back places.
There's Sbarro.
It is more like high end.
Yeah.
So it's not like Sbarro or Taco Bell. It's like more like fancier restaurants you would normally have to go and sit down and dine at that they have there that you can like take and go. And they all like shorten down their menu to make it easier, obviously. But either way, it's fun. And they're about to build, I believe, a concert venue kind of in the middle of all that. So you can have like live music playing, and the same brewery that brews beer for Twin Peaks brews beer for them, but it's different beer. So it's like their custom beer, and they have, I don't know. Okay, this kind of bothers me. Now that we're getting into it, I'm going to go on a slight rant.
Go ahead.
Apparently, they don't brew it on site, was what I've been told by beer aficionados.
Okay.
But they have all the equipment to brew on site. And it bothers me when you do that.
So they're making a show of it,
making
basically?
A show of it. Like, for instance, there's a lot of places that do that here in Dallas because you can't brew in the restaurant. Like, I know some restaurants have a separate place with a clear dividing wall where you brew, and then you have to like walk around a wall to get to the restaurant.
So these are just
separate.
Like food laws or something like that.
Yeah. These are like part of the food laws. But for this, they have like open like silver laddertons is what they're called. These like giant like tubes that you would normally brew beer in.
And is there just nothing in there?
They're open. They're open and empty. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've brewed some in there for like, I don't know. But if what I'm being told is true, they brew off-site and gets brought in. So the beer's good, though.
You're saying they're posing.
It's a lot of flash. And then I always kind of like, why?
You know, there's a place I go to every once in a while in Legacy West, and I don't want to say the name of it because I actually really enjoy it and just going to leave it out. But
you don't want to blow up the spot?
Do they? Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? Is there a way to tell? Because they have the same thing. They have like a clear plexiglass thing, and you can see the big silver. What do you call them? Laddertons. Is there a way for me to know if that's legit or not?
There's only one other place you kind of gave away where you go.
Okay.
That's the one at the Legacy North. That's like Legacy, and then it's like the shops.
Yeah.
And it's that hamburger, what is it called?
Gordon Biersch.
Gordon Biersch.
Yeah.
Gordon Biersch
Shameless
does
plug.
brew on site.
Okay, so that is legit.
Because, I talked to the brewmaster there, and that's why there's that plexiglass. That's technically a divider between the brew pub, the brew house, and the restaurant.
That's what you meant when you said clear divider.
Texas laws are ridiculous. Like, because I used to want to open, like, a brew pub.
Yeah.
I homebrew.
Who
we wanted to have, like, little, like, taps and thing, like, serve, like, food. but you have to serve X amount of food for every beer you like give. It's so ridiculous how they have to have it.
I went to a BJ's Brew House this
Yeah.
weekend. I know they have their own brand of beer. I don't know if they're brewing it on site or not.
Same thing.
but
Yeah, they have a clear divider.
Yeah.
So it's a separate entity from the actual.
They have really good soup and bread bowls, so that's what I was going for. It's
what's
carb loading.
What's the damage like at the Legacy West Food Hall? You know, how much did you pay for that beer?
It's not overly expensive. So like a beer was like $5-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which is, I mean, for a full like pint, that's pretty average.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't like astronomical, and that's one of the things I will say for it is they don't like go. It's not like a $20 beer or whatever it is. It's just good. Like it's kind of like you can hang around in like jeans and a t-shirt and you're totally fine. And like you just kind of hang out, and they have a lot of outdoor patios and stuff. So it's a cool place. I am just a little bit. I may look young, but I have a very old soul, and so I don't do well in those kind of establishments.
A little hoity-toity.
Yeah, I'm much more of like a dark, like I want like a cold beer, but
Sure.
no one else around me, you know. So, but
Well, it is a good litmus test for the environment. How was the kiddo? Handle it okay?
he was great.
Okay.
Yeah,
So not too loud, not too rowdy.
I mean, we went during his nap time, so that was key because he
Smart.
got a good nap in.
Yeah.
It was we had to avoid some areas because it was kind of loud. But again, like I'm not gonna be like turn down because they're not here for kids. It's not like a kid place. So it was fine.
But family friendly.
Family friendly, yeah, for sure.
All right.
So the good part was you could get a couple beers. They have plenty of sweet shops. My wife went to a donut stand and then turned the corner and went to a cookie stand. And then all that was not.
Sounds all right.
Not at one sitting. She would kill me if she thought that was. No, she like saved them for later on in the week. But like she was able to
Gathering them like acorns.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had an interesting peek into the city of Dallas this weekend because I went to the Dallas Public Library on Sunday. And I'd actually never been to the big library across from City Hall. And I didn't have a library card yet, so we decided to go down there and check out and see what was going on. And I will say, if you live in the city of Dallas and you've never been to the Dallas Public Library, it's actually a really cool place to go. And we ended up there, speaking of concert halls, we ended up there in the middle of a classical piano concert that they were just throwing for free. It was 3 o'clock on Saturdays. Just come on down and listen to. And that is an interesting group of people that come down to the library and watch the free concert pianist do her thing.
is this downtown?
This is directly across. This is on Young Street, directly across from City Hall.
So you're getting some of the.
You're getting a little bit of
vagrant population.
You're getting.
I was gonna ask about that. The riffraff, as we call them.
You know what? And it's not. It's one of those things where it was relatively low key. I don't know if there are busy times for the library or if the weekdays are busier. But this was 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock on a Sunday, so it wasn't too bad. But I definitely rode the elevator with a woman who I believe had probably been on some sort of drug.
Yeah.
And but she was fine. I never felt in danger or anything like that. It's just like there are people who are suddenly very talkative.
I got that impression when I went to Denver. Denver is also a very hippie-ish kind of place that allows the homeless population to kind of come and go. And they were in the library a lot. But I always got the feeling that they knew this was nice and they treated it as such.
Right.
I never got like a hey, they were always kind of respectful of the space that they were in, and they were just there to get out of the rain or the heat or the cold or whatever it was. And it never bothered me. It never seemed like it was kind of it never like came up to me or so it was always kind of like great.
Yeah, there was never a moment in there where I thought we probably shouldn't be here or it felt dirty or anything like that. It was actually totally cool. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. They have a lot of displays that it's completely free. You can just go in, and they have a lot of historical displays, some historical documents, things like that. So cool. I think it's worth checking out.
You know, Emilio Estevez, of all people, he is writing and directing a movie and starring in about homeless people taking over a library.
Yes,
I forget the name of it, but that's definitely a thing.
Yes,
yeah.
that is. It looks ridiculous.
It's called like Justice for All or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Emilio Estevez.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here on the lunch break. When we come back, do you like Hershey chocolate? Well, you may be surprised to find out that you are in the minority when it comes to the world population. We'll talk about that coming up here on the lunch break on RNCN. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the lunch break on RNCN. Again, you are watching this on the Real News Communications Network Facebook page. Hopefully you are. If you're not, we also upload this to YouTube, so go on by if you want to catch us live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at around 12 o'clock Central. Come on by the Facebook page. Find us on Facebook by searching Real News Communications Network. Give us a like. You'll get notified whenever we go live, as well as all the other great content that we have going out here on RNCN. Not just the lunch break. We're multifaceted.
It's true. We do a lot.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on.
Do you guys like foreign foods?
Foreign foods?
Foreign foods.
Love foreign foods.
Is there anything that stands out as just disgusting that you would never, ever try? How are you when it comes to trying new foods?
So I'm the wrong guy to ask because I've had some very interesting things in my world travels.
It sounds like you're the right guy to ask.
Well, because I'm saying I try everything. Like if I'm in a foreign land, I will try it.
You dive deep into whatever's going on there.
If it won't kill me, I'll try it. I've had duck embryo.
Ooh, I was going to say that one. What is that?
Balut.
Whatever. Balut. Yeah,
Balut.
that's it.
Isn't that served in the egg?
Served in the egg. So
it's like fermented too, right?
They take a fertilized egg.
Okay.
No, it's a fertilized egg that right before it gets ready to hatch, they stop fertilization by boiling it, and then you eat you eat like 2 or 3 of those. But man, it's delicious.
How do you eat this?
So they boil the eggs.
It comes in the egg?
It comes in the egg. And
you
then
just like scoop it out?
Yeah, you crack open the top. You peel it back.
Sorry to any vegetarians out there.
Yeah, you peel it back, and then you put a little sea salt in there.
Okay.
And
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then first thing you do is you take a shot, and all that juice.
God.
It tastes just like chicken soup. You down the shot, take the juice, then you peel the egg back, and then you just go to town.
Yeah.
The hard part, the only hard part, and again, I'm sorry if I'm grossing you out. The only hard part is the fact sometimes there's like a feather or two, or you see the beak. Because the beak's always there but soft. But if you get a little crunch, that's sometimes kind of hard for.
Yeah.
I've had some people who because you can buy that here in Dallas.
Where can I avoid that?
The H Mart. There's some places that sell predominantly Asian cuisine.
Sure.
They'll have it. And again, just boil it like you would in a normal egg. It's delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it because I'm not ever going to do that in my life.
That's probably the most out there.
That's
thing
extreme.
I've had. Yeah,
that's extreme. Zach, what about you?
I'm a big fan, like Josh said. I haven't tried balut, but I'm a big fan of like when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Yeah, if somebody slides me some kind of food or dish that is even remotely popular, if a nation of people consume this, how bad could it possibly be? Right? I mean, it's got to be okay.
It's a good question.
Said the guy who drank water in Mexico. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, we are a nation of people, the U.S., and recently there was a thread on Reddit that asked people from other countries what is popular in the U.S., what foods are popular in the U.S. that you find disgusting. Now, is there anything that comes to mind before we go through this list that you would think, yeah, we eat this, but it's a little bit weird?
Well, first things first, I think Americans we like to cut corners in places, all right? We like our SpaghettiOs in cans. And I think a lot of other countries that are very artisanal, where the word artisan comes from, they like to do it old school, man. They like to bake their own bread. So I'd imagine there's probably a handful of things that are relatively disgusting to other countries, but I'm curious to see what Reddit thinks.
So here's something along that line. This is canned or processed cheese.
Like Kraft?
From so you have American cheese, which is, I'm not sure if you're aware, is not considered actual cheese.
Well, not with that attitude.
And then you have things like Cheese Whiz or Easy Cheese in the can that you would spray on a cracker or something like that. So
delicious.
Other people find that to be pretty the cheese product line of foods. They find that to be pretty disgusting. You've also got, here's one I thought was interesting, was Hershey's chocolate. So I hear this a lot from people from Europe or from the UK, where they say chocolate over there is so much better. Hershey's chocolate, they'll often say it tastes like vomit. They'll say it tastes like formaldehyde.
Well, that's just simply untrue.
Any other just terrible taste. But yeah, people talk down about American chocolate quite a bit because it's, I guess, not real quote unquote chocolate that you would get from, I don't know, Switzerland or something like that.
To be fair, Hershey's isn't exactly where is Hershey? Illinois? Is that where that's from?
Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's not exactly the south of France or anything, but it does the job. All right, it scratches the itch.
Because sorry, and this is going to be kind of. I've had artisanal chocolate before, and I haven't been that impressed. Like they're fancy, like it's like 98% cacao and like the other 2% dirt. Like it just.
I'm good. I don't need that.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. So.
This article does say Hershey's reportedly contains butyric acid, which can be found in Parmesan cheese, sour yogurt, and yes, vomit. So apparently they may be onto something. I'm not sure.
They lucked into that. They didn't actually know.
Fast food was sort of gathered together. Although they have fast food in other countries, I'm not really buying that one. I feel like America is the king of fast food, if you ask me. But
I know London has fast food. I know Madrid had some, but honestly, I did not see any in Paris.
Really, no fast food in Paris? Not even like a McDonald's or something like that?
I'm trying to think as like our walks through, if there was one, there's like two tops.
Yeah.
Like it was very rare. I don't know if that's because like space is just so expensive but yeah, very few of those in this like Paris proper.
Right.
None of those like gorgeous Paris cityscapes just marred by a McDonald's arch.
Yeah, no. So
I feel like the food culture is different. Is different there in a way that like the cafe scene or something like that. Like it's easy. Yeah. I think around here, if it's not fast food, it's hard to get something little. And
that's true. And there, it's super easy to pop into a cafe, get a small sandwich and a coffee, and you're out the door.
Right.
And that's a perfect like 3 or 4 hour like hold you over, and they're big on that. So whereas it would be really weird to see some like French jerk like having like a Big Mac like and like a giant soda like walking down the street
with his mustache curled around.
It is delicious. Yeah, it'd be hard to see that. So
they listed too much ice. Americans use too much ice in things.
Too much ice?
Yeah, this says a lot of non-Americans mention U.S. beverage sizes. There was another aspect of drink consumption that even more commenters touched on: America's love of ice. Every cold beverage seems to be mostly ice. I will agree slightly with that. I like ice, but I like it in moderation.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure, too much ice.
I'm a big light ice fan, to be fair. I order a drink, light ice, please.
I was telling the story. I think it was probably off air. I was telling the story. No, were we talking about this, about the margarita?
Yeah.
I don't remember if this was on air, so I'll tell it again really quickly. I had a roommate in college who there was a Fridays on campus, and they served the ultimate margarita, which is just a bigger version of a margarita on the rocks. And he thought he was going to get one over on them by asking for it with no ice. Because what he noticed they did was they filled the glass full of ice and then they poured the drink around it and it filled up the glass. So he says, I'm going to get this with no ice. Clearly, they're going to fill this whole cup up with margarita.
Yeah.
And no, they just gave you the same amount, so it filled up like a quarter of the glass. And they said, come on, what are you trying to pull here?
Yeah.
I think he did ask for some ice afterwards.
Yeah.
He's not a genius, unfortunately. Sorry, Joe. Excessively sweet baked goods, things like even just like bread. They think bread is too sweet because contains a lot of sugar.
Putting the Wonder in Wonder Bread.
Well, exactly. Yeah, think about Wonder Bread or Mrs. Baird's bread.
There's
like white
sugar
bread.
in bread?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
This explains so
I know.
much.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And then finally, the final thing here is portion sizes.
Yeah.
I have heard that a lot.
Yeah. I will say this, like when I travel like overseas to other countries, it's a lot smaller, and you still like, it's one of those deals like I've never felt miserably full leaving a restaurant. You go to a Mexican food restaurant here and you get like a giant plate with like 4 enchiladas and these like refried beans that God knows what's inside of them, and you feel just miserably full.
Yeah.
And I go out to eat like in Mexico City. I'll order the same thing, but I don't feel gross. So I don't know what it is, like in the, like what they put in the food or how they prepare it, but the freshness in other countries of their food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's something I wish we had more of here.
You know, it's funny. Just last night, I ate at a Mexican restaurant in town and had something called the Big As Yo Face burrito.
That's not something you're going to find.
Can't make that up. Yeah.
Countries. Big. Was it in? You had that?
I did.
Was it in fact big as your face?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And it was awesome.
Well, good. I'm glad
a patient man would have brought half of it for lunch today, but it was just that good.
Do you? I mean, yeah. When it comes, I feel like I'm pretty good when it comes to portion size, where I'll eat what I want. I don't feel compelled to eat the whole thing, and then if there's enough to justify another meal later, I'll take that home and
That's
do
where you and I are opposite, my friend.
You're a champion. What
yeah,
can I say?
I eat really fast, and so I finish my entire plate of the big as your face burrito and go, man, that was great, and then immediately regret it like 10 minutes afterwards, where the food hits in and goes, you were full a half an hour ago.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Right.
So,
Americans are big on that like guilt afterwards. That's part of the meal, really.
yeah.
Well, you are watching the lunch break on RNCN. When we come back, there's a very, very entertaining video going around of karma striking immediately. I don't even mean a little bit later. I mean immediate repercussion for your action. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna love it. Well, maybe we can find some way to show it. Maybe I'll just hold my phone up to the camera. We'll find a way to show it to you. We'll figure this out eventually, folks. But you're watching the lunch break on RNCN on our Facebook page. Give us a like, leave us a comment. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the lunch break. I was on the wrong fader. Excuse me, I'm trying to run the board at the same time, folks.
But think about what
Give
we've
me a break.
learned.
Think about what have we learned. I really don't know that we've learned anything. Welcome back to the lunch break on RNCN. Again, the RNCN Facebook page. Find us by searching Real News Communications Network. Leave us a like, share it with somebody. If you like what you're seeing, if the three of us entertain you, then share it and brighten someone else's day.
Yeah, tell your friends.
So I'm going to ask this question knowing the answer to it. Have you guys seen this video of the kid who gets himself stuck in an elevator?
See, this was news to me.
Okay. So you had not seen this prior.
Had not.
Zach, you had seen it, right?
I saw this over the weekend, laughed, and thought, no way we talk about this on the show on Monday.
And here
we are. That's right.
Breaking barriers here.
Yes,
on
we
the
are.
Lunch break. So this story, this comes from a UK paper, which is why it says this: boy trapped in a lift. For you American viewers, that is an elevator. Boy trapped in an elevator after urinating on the control panel. So there was this young kid. I'm not sure how old he is, although he looks like he could be probably a teenager of some sort. I don't know. Where would you put him?
He's 13, 14.
13, 14.
Yeah.
He's in an elevator. I was contemplating trying to show this to the camera, but I think it'll look bad. But he is in an elevator. So just picture this CCTV shot from above him.
It kind of looks like my
him.
camera footage right now,
A little
except
bit,
in an
yeah.
elevator. Yeah.
Imagine Zach whenever I'm describing this video to you.
Yeah, I got you. Let me switch over.
And so, his back is to the camera. He is standing in front of a control panel for an elevator, all the buttons, and he decides to unzip and urinate on the control. And I mean, just completely cover this thing.
Drenched.
Yeah. Top to bottom. He was trying to. This wasn't a situation where he needed to go really badly.
No.
Here's the fee he's doing. I saw that now.
Yeah.
The delay, yeah.
he's clearly aiming at all over this up and down this control panel.
Right, specifically making sure to hit every button.
Yeah, exactly. He was about to reach his stop, I guess, because immediately when he's done, he goes to leave. Well, lo and behold, when you get liquid all over an electronic device, it's malfunctions. So all the lights start lighting up. It's blinking like a Christmas tree, and he is stuck in the elevator after having urinated on the panel.
Right. The lights start flickering. It's fantastic.
I put a link if you're seeing this on Facebook. I put a link in the comments, so you can click on the link in the comments.
Oh, great.
Below. So I'll tell you why this is a daring move. Besides being just scumbaggy and awful, it's daring because anybody at any given time can walk in and you're midstream.
Yeah.
And you can't stop.
Yeah,
So
you gotta be pretty confident you're the only one on the elevator.
Yeah. I had a horrible elevator experience when I was an intern in Oklahoma City for the iHeart radio station there.
Oh, do tell.
And our station was on the 8th floor, and the rule was your shirt tail had to be tucked in. Had to be tucked in. And I was a college kid, never had my shirt tail tucked in. And I'd been told twice, hey, your shirt tail's undone. We always have our shirt tails tucked in here. So I was getting on the elevator, and I realized my shirt tail was not tucked in. And so no one was around. I thought, you know what? This is the perfect time and opportunity to go ahead and just on the elevator ride. Because my logic here was that no one, after you're on your floor, no one goes up. You only go down.
Yeah, rarely are you going up another floor.
Yeah. And so if I was the only one on the start of this journey, I was going straight to 15. So it's essentially the express to my floor.
Straight to the top.
Yeah. So I went perfect. I undid the pants. I started tucking in the shirt. And I got to the front.
Did you have to undo the pants to do that? Or we're just going to make it easier
for me? Yeah. So pants are undone. Well, first off, I'm a big guy. You don't have loose enough pants to have your hands freely in there.
Did you have to undo a belt, or are you not wearing a belt?
No belt, because, again, classy.
Right.
Just the pants undone, unzipped, tucking the shirt in. I get to the front part of the tuck. All of a sudden, I hear, bing.
Oh.
I'm on, floor 7. Not quite my floor. And I just freeze. I panic.
No, even trying to turn
Not
around.
even trying to turn around. Yeah, just froze. Doors open up. 2 women in their mid 40s standing right there, and I go into full shock mode of I was trying to get and I couldn't finish a sentence. And they both, almost at the same time goes, we'll just catch the next one. We'll let you have your fun. You just ride.
Go ahead, son.
Yeah, we'll catch the next one.
Do you think that they still think about that moment?
Oh, God, yeah.
They remember that time we walked on it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of amateur sketch of me in the break room. Watch out for the pervert on the elevator.
You know, being in a building with a radio station, that is not the craziest thing those two women have
probably
seen.
not.
Yeah. We've done things there. I think I've now reached the statute of limitations, so it's fine. But there were things there that were just utterly ridiculous. Everything you think about a small market radio station being, that's exactly what it is.
Even not lewd behavior. We brought a cheetah up on an
Yeah,
elevator.
yeah.
So weird stuff has happened. Weird
You
stuff
did
goes
not
on.
bring a cheetah
Yes,
on an
we
elevator.
brought a cheetah up an elevator. We had to get it up somewhere. It wasn't going to take the stairs.
Shut up. That did not happen. A live cheetah?
A live cheetah
Get
from the
out
Dallas
of
Zoo.
here.
Yes, absolutely.
You're making that up.
I absolutely am not. I am not making that up. To finish out the story real quick, this happened in southwest China. He denied maintenance had to come rescue him. He denied doing anything to make it break, although they could clearly see there was urine on the panel.
Yeah.
So something had happened. This was before they pulled the CCTV. And his parents, who lived in the same building, so this was apparently in his building, his parents said this was not possible because, quote, he can't pee that high. So they didn't
Why
believe
would
in their
they
son.
know? Yeah,
I
what is that?
love the blind parent. No, it wasn't
No,
him.
it's impossible. He
Yeah.
can't do that. He cannot get that high. Then they saw the video. They said, well, maybe
for
they were
you,
proud
son.
of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. Good job. All right, when we come back here on the lunch break, this is the Real News Communications Network, but can we sniff out the real news? We'll find out coming up here on the last segment of the lunch break on RNCN. Welcome back, folks, to the lunch break on RNCN. I'm going to say it one more time. You are probably watching this on our Facebook page. If so, good job. Congratulations. You've made it. If not, if you're watching it on YouTube, go find us at Real News Communications Network on Facebook. Like the page, follow us. You will find all sorts of great content. Again, we're on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we post links in the comments section. You can leave us comments if you want, interact with us on the show. You can reach us live. All right. So you were telling me, Josh, that you had a little quiz for us.
Yeah.
Again, this is Real News Communications Network. Yeah. Are we experts in real news, though? These are real or fake headlines, so we have to suss out what's the truth and what's not in this crazy world of ours.
So, this is the real or fake news headlines quiz. You guys, again, spend all your time digging around, searching for stories. I'm going to read out stories. You know, there's crazy stories out there, like boy on elevator who gets caught in the
That's real.
That's real.
That's true.
So here you go. Here's the headline. Grill promises to cook a hamburger in 45 seconds. Speed is key.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to see, we can do it faster than anyone else. Get you in, get you out. We can do a hamburger in 45 seconds. Okay. Real or fake news?
I got to think, like, the amount of energy needed to cook a hamburger that quickly has got to be immense. Especially, I guess, if you're making it at home with real ground beef. I'm going to say false on that.
I think I think we live in an incredible country. One we started fast food. We developed the art of making something as fast and as greasy as possible to immediately turn out to a consumer at a very low price. That's right, Matt. We are pioneers. I think if somebody has developed the grill technology required to make a hamburger in 45 minutes, I believe it's possible.
Okay. 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
That is 45 minutes is miserable to make a hamburger. I'm just gonna say that.
It's artisanal.
That is actually fake news. No one has yet. I'm sure they are going to be on it now. No one has yet offered to do a hamburger. I will say one of the caveats there, they did not say how the hamburger would be prepared. It could be extremely rare.
Extremely rare.
That's true. You can technically cook a hamburger in 45 seconds now if you want to.
Calling all entrepreneurs. Like, we've got the next big one for you.
There is some enterprising 10-year-old watching us right now, and if you are, I don't know what you're doing. Stop it and go back to school. But if you're inspired by this, I hope you change the world.
Share this with your friends, then immediately go start working on the grill.
So here we go. Another crazy, outlandish headline. An airline offers in-flight experience, but without the takeoff.
Gosh, so this would be just sitting in a fuselage of a plane, or maybe not even that. Maybe just go in a room that's dressed up like an airplane. Gosh, this sounds. I will say this sounds crazy enough to be true.
I think this one's legit, and I'll tell you why. I forget the publication, it was maybe Vox or somebody. They did this little special on this flight out of Singapore that costs like $1 million or yen or whatever. And it's like this incredible first-class flight. They have like a sleeper cabin with a bed, and they serve you caviar and lobster. It's like this incredible experience that nobody gets to have. It's the finest champagne. They wine and dine you this whole flight. If they made some kind of consumer version of that where you could just try it out without going anywhere, honestly, I'd believe it's legit.
Well, you are both correct. The Japanese airline has offered this virtual reality flight experience. Now, you're only going to be in first class or in business class.
That
you're talking about,
seems all right.
Yeah, they're not going to stuff you in coach where you're elbow to elbow with someone. Yeah, so the flight, in air quotes, lasts 111 minutes.
So just shy of 2 hours.
Yeah, just shy of 2 hours. You're going to have all the experiences that you would have on the flight, such as I'm sure, like recycled air.
Yeah.
I'm sure champagne. The takeoff and the landing are going to be virtual reality.
Right.
So you get headsets.
Is that worked into your 1hundred minutes takeoff and landing? Because I'd want 111 cruising.
Yeah.
Right.
I taxi, and that takes like 45 of it. Yeah. We're still holding.
There's going to be a maintenance problem. You got to wait.
Yeah.
You got to deboard the plane.
So you get on, you put your virtual reality headset on, and that's for takeoff and then for landing. And
Does it move? Is it like on hydraulics?
Apparently, it simulates everything that you would go through a normal flight. So I'm guessing it has some sort of, maybe even like a little bit of a drop every once in a while. And I don't know. It's a cool concept. If somebody wants to blow their cash, I'll probably never get to spend thousands to actually fly first class. So to get the feeling of it.
Get a little taste of it. Now, does it say how much it costs? Or I guess this
I
is in
looked
Japanese.
through it. It does not say how much. All they did say is that for me, it's worth the time and money. But that was a quote from, I can't pronounce his first name, and his last name is Abe.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
That guy.
Mr. Abe.
Mr. Abe. So
It's
it was
probably
great.
Abe, but I mean, let's just.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Sorry,
Here we
sorry.
go. Real news or fake news? Perfume containing fish eggs is a bestseller.
Oh man, you know what's funny is I was walking through the mall on Saturday,
Oh no.
and I passed one of those opinion places. We pay you for your opinion places, and
Yeah.
I thought I've never done this.
Wait, what is it?
I'll try
Opinion
it.
places.
Yeah, it's like a little store basically that says, "Hey, come in, do a little survey, and we'll pay you." And I got paid $3 to test out some cologne.
Yeah.
I don't know that any of it had fish eggs in it, but I'm gonna say this sounds. I think I've heard crazier, so this sounds true.
I don't want to be the guy who just agrees with everything. I'm usually a very cynical individual, but I think like the people in the scent and perfume and cologne industry, they're insane.
They'll do anything.
They'll try
Yeah, they'll do
anything,
anything.
always. Yeah, so if fish eggs are the next big thing, why not? Yeah, I'd say it's true.
I will say on the February 22nd of 2018, it has not yet happened. So I believe with you that it could happen at any moment, but as of right now, that is a fake news
That's
headline.
false. Oh gosh, we're not doing too well on this.
Las Vegas Airport installs marijuana amnesty boxes. So you can go into this box, close the door, no one can see you, hear you, or smell you. Whatever happens in there, it's an amnesty zone. Is that
So
real
this
news
is
or
not
fake news?
okay. So this is not like a box where you drop off your weed so you don't get busted for it, right? You get to go.
Yes, sorry, that
would-
is actually correct. I was wrong. Allegedly, they're
Okay.
saying this could have been a box that allows passengers to empty their illegal marijuana that they forgot to leave at home.
I believe this. I think this has been installed in Colorado.
Wait, what do you mean empty? Like, where does it go?
Like if you just drop it off. I mean, I guess it goes. I guess you lose it.
What
but
do they
if
have
you're
like
flying,
a safety deposit box? I mean,
Well,
what do we-
I imagine it just gets, I don't know, recycled, I guess?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it gets recycled down to the cargo.
The janitorial staff takes it and puts it in a sealed bag and sends it back to the feds.
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, this has to happen because there are going to be people who are flying to some place. That, is weed legal in Las
It's
Vegas?
got to be legal in Las
It
Vegas.
is legal in Nevada, yes.
Okay. Yeah, then absolutely. I think this is absolutely true.
So then, so if you're flying out of Nevada and you brought your weed and you're going to like Texas where it's not legal to have it, and you go, oh crap, I brought my weed.
I got all my weed with me.
Yeah, here's a drop box. You
Yeah,
can just put it
I
back
think-
in.
You know what? I think the TSA needs more work. I'd bet this one's false.
All right.
I'll bet this is a false flag operation. Josh,
Okay.
what do you
This
think?
is true.
Ah!
Never put anything past Las Vegas. Yes, they have. They have bins set up. It started off where they were just doing pills, just doing pills. I thought, let's include marijuana as well. So yeah, good God, Las Vegas. And last but not least,
All right.
real or fake news to sign us off here. Woman finds $10,000 stashed in her apartment wall.
I'll say real.
I'll go real. Why not? I don't really have good logic for it. I just feel like
This just
that
sounds
one,
like a fun story.
Sure.
It does, and it is a false story. But I gotta imagine
happened. That
it
has to have happened.
at some point.
That
in
has
time.
to have
Happened
happened.
somewhere. Yeah.
I call shenanigans.
I question this quiz. Yes.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the lunch break for today, Monday the 26th. Thank you so much for watching. Again, find us on Facebook. Search Real News Communications Network on Facebook. Like us, follow us, comment on the show. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Central. So, tell your friends and let them know that this is the best place for your midday entertainment. I have been Matt Stoker. I'm still Matt Stoker, and I will be Matt Stoker in the future. I'm Matt Stoker. Zach Lewis in the booth running video. Josh Hart with the fake news quiz. We'll be back on Wednesday.